We back. What's up, baby? What's up? Let's see if everything works. Yeah, it does. Everything works. The sound on. Hello? The sound on. There it is. The sound is on, in fact. Oi, oi, oi. Okay, another one. Another one. A couple days ago, the MSI board. Today... we back. Let's see what this thing can do. That's gonna be interesting. That's actually gonna be interesting. Apparently, this thing is actually a completely same board as the Tachyon in terms of DDR5 overclockability. And it needs the XOC BIOS as well, which I'm not even sure if I have. I think I do. I should. Hopefully. Hopefully. Let's say I do. Okay. Wait. Yes, that's the one. I was looking at the number. I was like, oh, wait, maybe that's not the XOC BIOS. Well, it is. It is. All right, let me move some stuff around so we can have a little overview what this board is actually like in its physical form. We're going to look at all the little details. So first I need to move you to the side. Yo, there it is. And then I can lift you up a little bit as well. Alright, now we need the light. There it is. A little bit of a light. There we go. Ooh, I should really do a notification that the stream is actually on. Hold up. Send. Okay. All done. Hope you're well. I'm doing pretty good. Oh my god, 18 months from Toon. Thank you. Thank you and welcome back. Alright, let's have a little look at this thing. This is, yeah, this is how you see it. So, basic information around the box. Nothing special shown, basically. Let's see the backside a little bit. You get a little overview of the VRM, 8+2+2 digital VRM for supreme performance. Amazing. 3 times larger surface area. We have some armor. VRM thermal armor, yes, that's a heat shield, in fact. Wi-Fi. We got the PCIe easy latch, so this is for easy release of the GPU. It's a little bit like a taller friggin' latch, so you can press it with your finger easier. Okay, okay, they advertise Gen 5 on this board. That's great, I guess. Another Wi-Fi. Wait, there's a Wi-Fi here and a Wi-Fi here. Okay. Easy plug, right? And then you have like the little back I/O, some more specs, and that's it. So like basic stuff around the box. Hi Patrick, hi. Alright, let's have a look. What does this board even offer? Let's see. I'm just gonna pull this actually out. I'm gonna try at least. Yep. Okay, so this is what you get under it. You get a little manual. You get a little USB SATA. You get a little easy connect for the front panel connectors. These are actually pretty decent. You can just tink, plug them in and then plug it into the board. It's pretty easy. You have a little rubber grommets. That's for SSDs. So they have a little bit of support on the back side. You get one thick one, which is probably for one of these. And one slim one, which is probably for the one with the heatsink. And then, whoa. Okay. Ooh, I'm not sure if that's necessarily a good idea, just an antenna sticking out like this, because you can easily like bump it and... I mean, it will fall out, it will probably not break anything, but this is a bit of a compatibility issue potentially, unlike the Wi-Fi antennas that are on the cables, right? obviously. So that's a little bit of a weird one. Oh, what was the orientation of this box? I don't even know anymore. It was probably like this. There we go. Oh, it doesn't even go in all the way, but let's go. Let's pull the board out. That's not what's interesting. What is in fact interesting is the board. Is literally what you're getting. When buying this, you're getting the board. In fact, you're getting it for extremely cheap. Apparently, this board is like 130. We're not slipping, we're not sleeping. 5 a.m. running that board in my daily right now. Ooh, nice. Okay, let's have a little thorough overview of this little thing. Ooh, actually, I have an APU. I could use an APU on this. That would be hilarious. We would be doing freaking 10,000 DDR5. Anyway, let's have a little thorough overview. So first I actually look at the number of these boards, especially if they're kind of like this, kind of special or unique or whatever, right? Here's the number, and the number is 2147, which means it's actually not even that rare. That is a pretty substantial number. So what do we have? We have a little plastic sticker that you want to remove. Let's see how easy or hard it is to actually remove this. It's actually annoyingly hard because it keeps tearing. Actually, it keeps tearing around the corners. Oh my god, Gigabyte, please. Who designed this? Let me tear this off. Honestly, I would actually just straight up remove this little plastic piece because it's literally a heat shield. It does nothing for cooling. Again, there's no way. I'm actually gonna lose it. I'm actually gonna lose it. Yes, okay, good. It tears again! It just keeps staring around the corner. Yes, you're staying with me. You're staying with me while I struggle to pull this off. There we go. Hi. I'm okay. Shockwave. That's how I read your name, Shockwave, for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, this is a clear heat shield. It literally, like, it sits above the heatsink, which is, that's weird, bro. Okay, so that's, I didn't even notice this, by the way. So this thing is just a plastic piece that sits above the heatsink itself, doing nothing apart of being a little bit aesthetic, right? That's it. The board itself is extremely light, which obviously, like, there's not a lot of girth on it. So, but yeah, it's about as heavy as you would expect. It's not heavier than a usual M80X board. Then you have like the special stuff, obviously the 2DIMM, right? It's a one-side 2DIMM latch, or I should say just DIMM latch. So you have a blocked off bottom one. I do prefer the latches that are on top and bottom, but they chose to do it like this. And also they probably chose to do it like this so it can make room for the GPU, because the GPU is actually on the top PCI Express 1 slot, basically. It's not the second one, it's the first one, it's the most high up one. So that would make room for the GPU and would allow you to actually remove the sticks, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to access the latches and everything. But yeah, let's have a look at the rest. Okay, so fan connector situation. There's none around the 8-pin, which is interesting because sometimes, if often, Gigabyte chooses to put 1 or 2 connectors around the 12-pin, or 12-pin, I should say 8-pin. Here's your CPU connector, sideways, right next to the DIMMs. Here's another one, which is CPU optional connector. Right next to it is addressable RGB. What is this? I would assume that this, what is this? Am I blind? It doesn't say. Oh, there it is. It says, wait, this one is power and this one is what? Reset. Probably RST switch, if I'm not mistaken. Unless the RST switch is also on the bottom, or it's not a switch, it's just a, oh, that's QFlash? Where does it say? Where does it say? Giga. What? Okay, so if that's QFlash, that's hilarious. But yeah, you might actually be right. That's actually QFlash. Am I blind? Am I looking at from the wrong direction? No. I literally do not see a single QFlash word around it. Gigabyte, like what? You should be putting like freaking a description what the hell this is. Okay, so we're missing a power switch. We're missing a QLED, you know, postcode LED. You have the LEDs right here. Then you have the 24 pin, obviously, 3-point, or I should say Type C connector front. You have another fan connector, so that's the third one. Some SATA, then you have a USB 3.0. You have the front panel connectors, you have the clear CMOS on the bottom. So clear CMOS right here, usual place for Gigabyte. Then you have the RST switch, which is my personal favorite actually. And then you have actually clear CMOS little switch that you can probably put on. It's probably wired up. Actually, Vi in the chat knows if it's fully wired up and if you can actually put it on. And right, that's for the right side of the bottom. Then you have 2.0 USB. Then you have the fourth fan connector, system fan. You have SPI TPM, ESPI debug. Then you have the addressable RGB. Actually, no, this is a normal RGB. Then you have addressable RGB. So 3 addressable RGB connectors. Front panel audio, just basic Realtek. That bottom one is wired up. The power button needs just... Okay, I see. Yeah, potentially, yeah. Just needs one, yeah. So this would be the power button. Okay, so that's it for the front. Notable things, by the way. Notable things, and I noticed immediately when I pulled this board out. I usually grab the board by the heatsink, like this, right? But I immediately noticed that the heatsink actually moved when I grabbed it. So I immediately had a look, like, why is the heatsink moving? And it's because it's actually using just plastic. How would you call them? Through-hole clips, right? To hold the heatsink in. And it also uses plastic through-hole clips here as well on the big heatsink, right? In my opinion, that's a downside because these will they will go bad over the years and they might just break off, and while handling the board they might break off and so on. It's not sturdy, right? It's not a screw. So that's a bit of a minus from me, but it's a cheap board, so I can't really flame them for this or whatever. It's 140, 130 euros. So that's notable, right? And for that price, by the way, you get an integrated I/O shield. So here's your I/O shield, which is, for that price, it's actually crazy that you get an integrated I/O shield. Usually you just get a little plate. Even the Tachyon doesn't get an integrated I/O shield. You need to put it on, or at least the older Tachyons did that, right? While the rest of the board lineup would have like the shield on. But the rest of the ports, 2 3.2, 1 Type C, well, again one more 3.2. Then you have a little bit of ventilation, but it's not really doing anything. Of course, you have 2 display outs, 2.0 ports. Which one is the flash one? USB. Which one is the flash? BIOS. There you go. This one is the BIOS one. Cool. They're using the 2.0 port for the flash, and of course it's an overclocking board, so you're gonna have PS2 port. Also now has XOC BIOS T23. The Wi-Fi. Oh, right. This is the Wi-Fi. Right. Oh my sweet goodness. You are actually right. Can you send the link? That would be cool. I didn't care about the Wi-Fi obviously, but yeah, it does differ from the normal one, obviously. But yeah, that's it for the front. There's your BIOS chip right here. Obviously CMOS battery right here. Let's have a look at the back, right? Barely anyone shows the back of the boards. I'm not sure why, but I like to look at both sides, front and back, front and rear, you know. Anyway, we have the VRM for the SoC right here. Loads of actual filtering on the back side. You have a MOSFET as well. I could actually have a look, but I'm not taking these plastic clips out. But it is a 2-phase, I would assume. Yeah, it's a 2 plus 2, obviously. Actually, no, never mind. What is the... So you have the 2, and you have the 2. Which one is the SoC? Is there an iGPU as well? I forgot how the AM5 is actually wired up. So like you have the SoC, and then you have... I forgot. You have the backside filtering behind the CPU, and they're actually using some pretty decent capacitors on the backside. Right here you can see the black ones. Not bad. That's all the V-core power stages, or if I should say phases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Of course, they're not lying. They're not lying in the phase count. Then of course you have the topology. You can't really see it from the back or the front. It's all under a ground plane, basically.
Log in. Hello, Madness. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. You can see the vias right behind the slots. There you go. Actually, one more thing that I'm gonna show you, but that's basically the backside. There's nothing really going on the backside. But they are using solid pins on the 8-pin, but they're using just normal pins on the 24-pin. So that's one notable thing, I guess. So now I gotta get the CPU ready, of course. Now the CPU is still in the edge. I gotta get this thing out. So we are gonna have to take out this little CPU. Oh, where are you at? There we go. There we go. Where's my screwdriver? Did I put it in here potentially? Yes, I did. MSI. Hello. I can DM. Give me a sec. Send. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Vi. Let me see. Oh no, wrong screw. Never mind. I need a little bit bigger. Alright, let's pull this thing out. I'm gonna have to grab the original socket cover. Also, I should have really used the washers that's like the screws screw in. So when I'm doing this, they don't fall out. Because these screws, they don't stay in. BSOD. No, I was busy. Alright, there we go. Let's see if this is off. And it's probably gonna pull the CPU with it. No, not fully. Can I? Yes. Whoop. Of course it pulls the CPU, it's literally glued to it. Okay, so, actually, can I do this in one motion? That would be great if I can actually do this. I can put this to the side, careful, because it's an open socket. I can remove this. You can't turn around the block because the screws are gonna fall out, and I don't want them to fall out. I just want them to stay. Also, I noticed that two of the washers are actually not on the board. So they might have stayed on the block. We're gonna have to actually look Okay, so this is just like the Tachyon, they're using the solid pin socket, which is pretty cool to see. If I'm not mistaken, that's Foxconn. So you can see it's a solid pin socket. I love that. Alright, let's put the CPU in. Let's put the little washers around the socket on. We're using the washers because the direct die block actually puts way too much pressure onto the CPU. So are the washers actually on? Yeah, they actually stayed on. Hopefully they don't fall. But yeah, that's about it. Okay, so this thing is on. What's the difference? One of them uses solid pins, one of them uses hollow pins. Oh, risky business, Madness, risky. There we go. Alright, so now can I get you? Okay, wait, this is probably gonna hold. Yes, okay. So now I can let go of the cooler because it's screwed in. Actually, in this case, it doesn't really press on the CPU that much, but it does. It does still press on the CPU. Alright, that's... Okay, one more, and then the last one again, one more time, just to make sure. Okay, that's it. Oh, I didn't take a picture of the CPU in the board. Oh, that would have been cool. That would have been cool, man. Hiya. I don't need this one. Now what? Okay, I need to put this in the original box, of course. And then of course, wait, yeah, I still need that little Torx screw. Because I want to put this one back and I want to put the socket cover over it. Where's the socket cover? Did I? No, I should put it in
You've
here.
got my pics of the Force SND, the contact frame to Ugalat.
Here it is. Here it is. Okay. I can move this away. Of course. There it is. Whoa. There we go. I'm gonna put that on as well. Where are you? There you are. Come on. There we go. There we go. Cute. Alright, little thing. Little beastie. Get back in the box. It's not your time to shine anymore. We're looking at Gigabyte now. Alright. Little baby. Alright, so let's have a look at the bench. What are we looking at here?
Cookie bite.
Alright. Well, I actually have to change the screws a little bit because this is an M80X board. So I can do this and I can do the bottom one as well. Ideally, of course. I shouldn't have done that. I should not have done that. I should not have done that, but I think with a 5090 Hall of Fame sitting on it, I actually do want to do that. Hello. There we go. It's a very flat board, extremely flat board. That's good. Oh, actually, one notable thing, it comes only with one 8-pin, now that I think about it. But realistically, the VRM is not strong enough for two 8-pins, full power. It's really not, so like, that's fine, right? Ideally, you do not push over like 200 watts through this thing. But, here it is. Here's a little thing. Let's put the 5090 in. Can I do this first? No, I actually can't. I'll do this then. So I need this thing to sit up at least a little bit. Are you gonna fall? Okay. Anyway, let's put this thing in. Unlatch this thing. Put it in. Bonk. Okay. So 2 12 pins. Where are you at? There we go. We're gonna need the loop, of course. The loop. Oh, actually, you can't see all the way up. But here's the tubes. The tuba. The tuba. That's the wrong one. Quick release. Quick disconnect.
Seeing that Hoff bend in that slot hurts my soul.
Bend? It's not really bend. It would have to stay like this. It's literally like just a tiny little bit. No problem, dude, no problem. Wait! I'm gonna have to remove the freaking heatsink. Yeah, I'm gonna have... Ooh, okay. We need to remove this little heatsink so I can actually put in the SSD. And that's gonna make it interesting because I need a screw now. But thankfully I have a screw. So, no worries. We have a screw right here. Where are you at? Where are you? There you go. Okay, so now we need the SSD. We need the SSD. There we go. Are you big enough? Why am I shaking? Yeah. It is in fact big enough. Good. We need RAM. Oh, I didn't do a comparison versus the freaking Tachyon. No, I could have done a comparison versus the Tachyon. No. Oh well. I can show you though. Now that you know how the freaking the other board looks like, now you can actually see what the Tachyon looks like. I see barely any difference, by the way. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's a big difference, of course. Freaking 90-degree slot, massive board, huge board, wide board, of course. Yeah, so there you go. This is the big brother, this is the small brother, or baby brother, you know. Alright, where's the cable? Am I blind? That's the display. Where's the other one? Hello? Where are you hiding? Huh? Aha, okay. This fell behind. There we go. Bonk, and then I need, obviously, to connect the loops so my pump and fans spin. There we go. Beep. There you go. Ooh, the little power on button, where are you at? Power on. There we go. It powers on. There's basically no LEDs. No, there is literally no LEDs. It has a postcode LEDs. I guess I could. Do I do postcode LED camera? Guys, do I do postcode LED camera? Or I should just say post LED, not postcode LED. It's just post LEDs. Yes, please. Okay. I guess yes. They want it all, and they want it now. They want it all. Anyway, that's, by the way, that's the RGB is coming only from the GPU and the RAM. There's no RGB on the board. Anyway, let me plug this in. All right, let me drop you back down. There we go.
RGB water.
RGB water. Yeah, RGB water. Actually, you can see it. Is my flow okay? My flow is okay. Good. We like to see that. Let's see what's on the screen. There we go. No, it's not a it's not a it's not the flashbang. It's not the flashbang, luckily. No bang, no gigabang. The gigabang. Ever since Intel upgraded, you know, freaking LGA 1851 and then LGA 1700 kind of went out of popularity. Dude, I miss that emote. Gigabang, dude. Every single stream would experience multiple gigabangs. Good old times, bro. Good old times. System detects you've installed an X3D CPU. Would you like to enable? No. Yes. Anyway, what's the chat yapping about? I don't know, sure I know most of Intel, but yeah. Okay. I need the BIOS. The BIOS. Download. Where's my... Oh no, this is gonna be like freaking microcode something something trash probably. something garbage actually. Where you at? Do I make a new folder? No, I'm not making a new folder. I'm just gonna put it in the force and I'm gonna name it freaking Wi-Fi. Oh, it is. Already it is. Never mind. It already is. Also, so this is Gigabyte bin, right? Gigabyte bin. Let's put it in. Gigabyte bin. Yes. Gigabyte bin. Okay. Eject. Okay. Let's have a little overview of the original BIOS. What does this board come with, right? What do we get? Do we get a freaking NDA pre-release BIOS on this board that is not on the website, or do we get some just generic BIOS that's on the website? Let's see. What do we get? Hopefully I have the drivers. Perfect. We get F3 with AGESA 1203E. Not my favorite. It's actually, in fact, one of my most hated ones, but it is what it is. It's a pretty new board, so obviously it's gonna get these BIOSes. Anyway, let's just do a little simple test before we do a little overview of the BIOS, and then we flash it. What's the issue with it? Everything after 120D, or I should say 1203D, it went downhill because they introduced some compatibilities for new upcoming CPUs, and they changed some algorithms, some training algorithms. It needs more voltage for same speeds and so on. So like it changed, right? And it was worse performance as well. The best one is 1203A, If you can get it, perfect, use it, be happy with it. It's gonna be the most reliable, most stable, fastest one, and you're gonna get the best results on them. So that's why. I don't even want to start with the new ones. Anyway, let's have a look. Generic performance. Let's see if the mount is good even, because this is a first time mount with the washers and everything. So like, oh, good. A little bit hot. I need to trim down the glue on this CPU. That's the thing. Need to trim it down. You need a little daughter board? Yeah, I know, right? I know. Okay, it's sustained clock speed. Decent score. Not bad. Okay. That's perfect. Do we have a little overview of the VRM? VRM got hot a little bit. Let's have a little touch. Yeah, nothing special. I should have put a freaking 9950 extra D inside of this, to be honest. But I was thinking direct die, why not? Let's do direct die. Do we have another? We have the MISC. We have the SOC. I guess the MISC is the one. MISC is the +2. And then we have the other one, which reads roughly almost the same. Okay. Right now, my most expensive GPU? Yes. I don't have the 6000 Blackwell, dude. It was close. I almost got one, but no. It is what it is. But so yeah, so that's my current most expensive one. It wasn't even that expensive, by the way. Yeah. So I had to think a little bit. I had to think if it's the most expensive one. All right, let's have a little overview of the BIOS. That's gonna be interesting. For a month with static OCers. Okay. Now you know, I guess. So, let's have a little overview of the BIOS. The main screen is the same as any other screen. You don't have any VID readouts, so unlike freaking Asus or whatever, but Asus would have it on crosshair boards, and I think some... no, I don't think it's on Strix boards. I can't actually remember if it's on Strix boards. But you don't have any VID readout, which is a shame. So you don't actually get a first impression of what the CPU is actually capable of. You just have an EXPO, core tuning. Ooh! Okay, core tuning, you have level 2, level 1 legacy. That's for latency. Resize bar support, CSM. Preferred operating mode. Okay, advanced. Let's go to advanced. Fast boot is disabled. Okay, good. SPD, SPD info, QFlash, smart fan. It's actually exactly the same as any other. Turbo mode. Okay, there's your X3D turbo mode right here. And let's switch to the advanced mode. So the things that I'm actually looking... The things that I'm actually looking to find out if the voltages are still limited. I would assume yes. But let's just have a look, you know. Precision boost overdrive is right here. Okay. Turbo mode right here. You don't want to use this, by the way. Actual core tuning config again. Okay. System memory multiplier, yes. Infinity fabric divider, MCLK and UCLK. That's all very standard. Nothing changed. Resistances are all the same. You don't have groups right here, but you have groups in CBS anyway. I actually forgot. I think you can just set RTTs right here. And then the rest, you need to do it in different menus so they apply. Otherwise, they don't necessarily apply. You have the SoC 1.3. Aha, it doesn't go over. Dynamic vCore. It goes to 100. Aha, okay. Can I? There. VDDIO, okay. VDDQ. VPP, you can just set it, you can just VPP, VDDP. Yeah, you can just type it out. You have the readout, perfect. VDDG voltage readout. MISC, you don't actually have a readout. You have it, I guess, if you open it. But yeah, CPU VRM load line, SoC load line, and that's it for VRM actually. Wow. Do you think the Norman can get your hands on a matrix? It makes no sense. If I would have like a full matrix collection, I would go for it, but I don't, and I probably will never have, because I don't think matrix cards are that great. Some of them are actually great, but some of them, no, not interested. How are you? Why you don't touch C states? I'm having an overview of the BIOS. I'm not touching anything yet. Actually, there is one thing that I wanted to touch. 1.6 volts. Let's see. Yes, okay. So VDD is actually still limited. VDDQ, let me see. Also, what is the VDDIO mem limit? 4 or 5. Okay. Jesus, gigabytes. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Platform power, okay. Integrated, you can disable the iGPU. Utilities, you can disable that. Here's the reset switch. I usually have it on safe mode, even though AMD struggles with safe mode quite a lot. Ooh, okay. Okay, they give you per M.2 control for PCIe, or PCIe. What? It has 2? Where is it taking the second one? Is it over the PCH, I guess? Does the PCH have Gen 5? But it says CPU though. AB, CPU. 2 of them are connected to CPU. From where? It doesn't have any switches. Holy. CPU controls 8X M.2. 2 NVMe CPU. I didn't actually know. I thought it was 1. I guess, dude. Okay. Never mind. Okay, cool. I actually really thought that it was just only 1, basically. Trusted computing. My bad though. My bad. Okay, so here we have the CBS options, the thing that MSI missed, right? You have all the standard options here. Everything basically unlocked. You have C states, power supply control, OP cache, stream stores. The rest is not that important. SMEE, AVX 512, speculative mode, LUL. We have the LUL. There you have the latency again, right? The gaming optimization. Realistically, you want to keep it at auto for X3Ds and general CPUs. It makes better use of the cache. Here you have the UMC options, right? The DDR options. Also, right here, you can actually select the... Wait, is it not this menu? I guess it's the other one, yeah. I guess it's the other one. You Here you can actually set a lot of the timings. RCD, RP. Oh, actually, here it's not unlocked. Ah, interesting. Here it's not unlocked. Okay. Bus, you have the groups. Perfect. Perfect, we have the groups.
You need to type it in.
You need to type it in? I know I need to type it in. No, I was looking for RCDW. RCDWR, of course, right? Actually, come to think about it, that's interesting. I'll have to check the other menu if it has that unlocked. I would be shocked if it doesn't. Power down. RAS, we have ECC, security. You have the taps, perfect. Gear down, turn around, jump around.
TRCDWR is split. Need to type it in for it to show bit options.
Oh, okay.
In CBS.
You have the CPU control. You have the DDR options, of course. Memory OC mode. Or you can just go here, you know? You can just go here. Anyway. Auto. Here it is. Active memory. Bus. Same settings. I will actually apply XMP and check all of the settings that I know from Tachyon. So
with MZ-Mag X870 Tomahawk and A7 9800 by 3D what BIOS settings you could touch.
Anything that you want to touch. Anything that you want. It's all good. SOC. Perfect. Multi-theme. Is it on the fly? It's not on the fly. It's not on the fly. Let me just set XMP. I'm actually curious if it changes some of the stuff. I'll go straight back into BIOS for Fortnite. Basically, you don't have to touch anything. You can just play and enjoy your PC. With the Lexars, I see. Ooh! Not bad, not bad. Okay, okay. We're looking good. We're looking CPU DDIO 1.425. I would assume that that's actually 1.40. Does it sync potentially? Does it potentially sync? I doubt it will, like, automatically, but yeah, let's see. You won't touch BIOS setting? I mean, of course I will. If you pay, of course I will. No, I will touch everything, literally. Like, if you pay the standard price, yes, of course. Full everything. I'm actually assuming that it doesn't display the right voltage there. That's kind of a Gigabyte thing. Oh, actually, no, it does. There we go. Okay, so it's not sync. That's pretty cool. You have the SoC? Okay. Cool. Let's actually see if it changed any settings. Not here. Yeah. Classic. Okay. Yes, it does, of course. termination impedance pull up to 40. That's a classic Gigabyte. So it's basically the same as Tachyon, basically. DRAM on die termination DQS to 34. So, hi Valach. That's two of them, right? So it changed two of them. Oh my god, what a bug. Okay, so there's a display bug when you scroll really fast. Interesting. There's okay, interesting. I didn't notice this on the Tachyon. It doesn't do that. Bus? Nothing here. Okay, so just two of them were changed. All right, let's have a look. Does it enter into loading windows? No, it does not. It actually goes back into reposting instead of straight up going into Windows when you exit the BIOS, right? So let me set up. This is gonna be a bit of a weird setup because I'm gonna have to enable the cam. So it's cam 2. There it is. Transform reset. Actually, I'm gonna keep it large because I need to see.
But in your videos, you don't touch C states for Geno tweaks.
You don't see what I do behind the scenes, dude. I don't only live in the videos, you know? That is large. Yeah. I'm trying to get in. It's so hard. Okay, let's have a look at the options. I need to sharpen this thing up and configure video. Ooh, that is sharp. Okay. Which one? I think this one is the best, yeah? Should be. Let me try again. Okay, perfect. I want to make it as efficient as possible right here. Perfect. Oh, it went past. You don't show everything? Of course I don't. What this setting do? Let me just explain every single thing I changed in the BIOS. Let me just start explaining that. It's consistency. AVX512 disable consistency. That's the reason why. Okay. We can actually try to perform the flash, but I want to know if the CMOS the MSI test, yeah? We're gonna remember MSI for that one. Okay, let's see. Does it reset Windows? If I CMOS right here. No, in fact, it doesn't. See? Gigabyte has it figured out. You click or bridge the pins on the board while this is on. Nothing happens. I'm gonna do it again. Look. Nothing happened. Okay. Not bad. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Okay. Let's have a look. Before we go to the real BIOS, Let's have a look at the settings. Did it sync? It did not sync, even with GDM on. 1.2. We know that this setting actually sometimes is bugged. Oh, I love this. I actually like that. Gigabyte. Good. Good stuff. Not bad. A lot of the boards are missing this. Oh, actually, let me see. Real quick load. What is the difference between this and this? Oh. So we have a VRM voltage right here, I would assume. I would assume that this is VRM voltage. I doubt it's behind the socket because it's such a large delta. This is literally looks like VRM voltage right here. So that, okay. So V-core sensor is VRM voltage. This right here is the V-core, right? Not, I would say that it's not quite precisely V-core, but it's close
for a high-end PC.
1000. 1000 polling rate, and which mouse? I don't know. The one that fits in your hand. V3 Pro. That's fine. That's fine. Dude, I swear to God, if you don't relax on the questions a little bit, we're gonna deal with you real quick. Okay? Anyway. Yeah, so everything applied just like the BIOS applied at 53. Okay. That's classic Gigabyte as well. Okay. We need to actually shut this off and perform the flash. I don't want to do comparisons between this BIOS and the other one. Like, it's not going to be nothing. It's literally going to be nothing. Yeah. I could do, oh my God. I often did like switching frequency of the VRMs, you know, but here I need to remove like, yes, I could, but okay. So QFlash I can't believe I didn't know that the freaking switch on the board was a QFlash. Wait, is it? It is. Ooh, okay. So we have a flashing little LED. We have a little flashing LED. Hold up. How do I? Never mind, it stopped flashing. Oh, never mind, it flashes again. The LED is right under this thing. Where is it? Can I capture it? And there it is! Oh, there it is! It's not red, by the way, it's orange, but the camera picks it up as red. There it is. Alright, we'll see how long this lasts.
XDD arrive.
XDD arrive. Kif, what's up, baby? What's up? 1 hour in. I'm just reading the chat right now. How's it going? Vala, it's going pretty good. We're having fun. We're having a little bit of fun.
Cat sitting very comfortably around the campfire with its friends.
Oh, now it's just... Dude, the LED behavior of the flash is weird because you can see it on the screen. It's like randomly flashing. It's not consistently like interleaving,
Some of the question
you know?
him going
I'm calm, I'm cool. Do you think next year or 2027 come the 60 series, the 60 series. I don't even want to talk about 60 series. Look at the shit that's happening with the 50 series. I don't even want to know about 60 series, bro. Like, are you serious? What, they're gonna come out with another high power GPU with a melting 12-pin connector, refusing to elaborate on the freaking trash design of it, with the shitty drivers that continue to fail over and over again, especially on release. And now that the new drivers came out, right, the update with the physics and everything, they're shit again. They're completely broken. So like, I don't even want to talk. With the PCI Express interface 5.0 that keeps causing issues, no. But when is it coming out? You could assume probably 27. I don't think that 26 is coming out yet. All right, we're back in. And for me personally, like, time is flying by so fast that honestly, also not to mention the prices of it. Like, people are, that's kind of like the first time I actually got asked about the 60 series NVIDIA. But who the hell is even gonna buy them? It's like, what is the mid-range gonna be, like 1,700 euros or something? Like, I can't even imagine, man. Also, we are now on the XOC BIOS. We are on AGESA 1203E. Same thing as before, sadly. Everything is the same, basically. I will do Greyscale, and I want to see the main menu of this Greyscale.
PP even now can't afford some of the stuff, and next gonna be more expensive kek.
Not bad, actually. It looks pretty decent in Greyscale. Anyway, punk. Let's do a little base profile, shall we? Like we usually do. I'm just gonna disable it. Actually, it is what it is. Still have the Gigabyte utilities. I'm just gonna leave 512 in. No need to touch anything else except for I want to check. Okay, same thing. PBS, firmware, graphics, platform, discrete. This is a new menu here in the XOC BIOS. I didn't see it before. Okay. Ooh, purification. Dude, if only, man. If only. I assume that people actually tried this and it didn't work. What happens? Mapscorp, did you try this? What happens when you do this? I'm actually curious. I tried. Is this one of the new... Oh my sweet goodness. The throwback to the Force boards. Oh sweet goodness. The Ultra and the Force. No, it is actually not. Sad. Nothing aside of main beast. Okay. Okay. Sad. Sad. Maybe this board has it. That would be literally the last thing that I would possibly try. Core count control. Interesting. So you have some advanced options. Nothing here. Is this LN2 still the... No. No. Same still actually. Ooh, I didn't check what the auto option is for VDDGs under XMP. Okay, so we're gonna try that actually. But first I want to do obviously the base profile. Do I need to do anything else? No. I think that's it. Yeah, that's literally it. Okay, so base profile. Save. Let's go straight into Windows. So it's going to reset one time. So we have the behavior down, right? When you exit the BIOS, it does not go straight into Windows. It actually restarts and retrains. That's the difference between this and the MSI. This has all of the CBS options. Perfect. Amazing. The CMOS does not reset the board. Perfect. Amazing.
Officially
we like
on
that
vacation.
algorithm. Officially. Nice, Salty. Nice. How's the last day of work? Not bad. Let's go. All right, let's see if it's any more efficient than before. We can assume that probably not. The BIOS is basically the same, apart from like a couple options being unlimited.
You can do just BIOS settings for how much if you can do.
Okay, yeah. No, I will follow my own, I guess, schedule, you could say, right? So the way I'm gonna test this board, the way that I usually do for comparison reasons. And then if you want to stay and watch, you're open to stay and watch, but don't tell me what to do.
Hey Madness, when one day you want to make a gaming computer gift, remember me.
Yeah, let me just choose a random Twitch viewer. Just question. Okay. Never mind. All good, man. All good. Yeah, let me just gift a random viewer. 965, that's literally 1 point lower than before. Yeah, okay.
Better give it a good review or no sample XD.
Alright, get it. So far, it's good. Apart from the freaking plastic clips on the VRM heatsink. That's a downside. But I can't complain because it's a cheap board. And the rest is so far positive. Apart from the fact that, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. But the limited voltages. You have the XOC BIOS, but being forced to use an XOC BIOS to use the range, right? It's a little bit weird. But at the same time, it's like for daily usage, for normal users, for 99.8% of the users, that's not really a thing. So they're always going to be like around 1.4, or actually 1.35 is very common in those situations. 1.4, 1.45, and that's it, right? So the limit isn't necessarily like a really, oh my god, bad thing, whatever, right? But yeah. Single BIOS, sadly, no postcode, right? That's kind of like these negatives that you can argue, and the argument is very valid, right? That the board is extremely cheap. So like no eCLK, no postcode LED or whatever, right? QR code. It's not QR code. I call it the QR code. Whatever. So these features, you know, are freaking CMOS button or something like that, power on button, stuff like that, you know. These, you can argue like, no, it's like, it's a cheap board, man. It's like, grade board into AM5OC? Yes, absolutely. Especially with cheap APUs, if you want to do like high speed and so on. Could always ask for fully unlocked, but I have limited knowledge on. I'm already on it. No worries. I'm already on the BIOS. I would assume that this has a 2.1 limit on the VDD. No way. No way. Huh? Did it flash the button? like advanced stuff like on the Tachyon. That would be interesting, but excuse me? Am I missing something? Oh no. Okay. VDDIO unlocks. Yes, VDDIO goes to 1.6 now. So VDDIO did unlock. Where's my VDD voltage? Huh? I didn't actually read the forum posts, and I'm not sure if anyone like mentioned this or something. They probably did, but like, where is the voltage?
Last question, sorry for the
which
disturbance.
driver
Which driver should I use for a
evidence
4070 Super and I have to install AMD chipset driver?
Yes, you kind of want the AMD chipset driver just because of compatibility and overall stability, you know. But for the GPU, it's 58194. That's the last good one. Is 1.5 VD. What?
Do you know anyone doing real good videos about how to OC-RAM more CPUs? I can't find anything good.
I don't know, Buildside is the first one that comes to mind. Other than that, no. Which, please, can you repeat? 581.94. Time to try CrossFlash? I don't think that CrossFlash will work. But realistically, I'm not really gonna push over this voltage. But it is one notable thing. So the Wi-Fi board, apparently, with this BIOS specifically, right? I don't know if there's any other BIOS for this or any newer potentially that unlocks more. Specifically for T23, I believe it's called, yeah, T23. It is locked. Still, VDD and VDDQ probably. Yeah, VDD and VDDQ is still locked, but VDDIO does unlock. That is interesting. SoC obviously still 1.3 volts. So now that we're on the base profile, how do we approach this? Also, it does unlock the PBS menu. So like it did unlock, right?
581.94 is this?
Yes. Says, sorry, I'm not gonna be annoying. It continues to be annoying. Anyway. Fuck it up. Jesus. Anyway. Let's see if it's still the same. Let's have a look. XMP behavior, let's go. Scared to break something. Well, actually, a lot of the guides will, how's it called? Will give you information that breaks things. Now, some of them, most of them are unknowingly, right? Unknowingly telling you to set certain things that break things. Mainly just because of experience. But it is what it is. Basically, you're a beta tester for their settings. That's basically it. Most of the time, right? Most of the time. Not all of the time. But it is what it is. Okay, so VDDG and VDDIO still 0.9. That's interesting. It doesn't change on XMP. Okay.
Goodbye.
So MSI, I believe it was 0.95. And then Asus usually uses actually 1.05. Gigabyte actually just still here casually using 0.9, just not changing it. Okay, cool. 1.2 volts for XMP, or I should say EXPO 6000, 1.2, okay. It still changes, yeah, of course, it still changes these. It still changes the DQS. It does not sync, of course. Okay, perfect. We know everything basically now. The best wishes for the end of the year. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Shai. You too. Have a great Christmas and a Happy New Year. Okay. I can recommend actually upgrading to a 14700K. It's a massive jump over the 14600K. You're gonna have to put some good cooling on it, ideally. Ideally, you don't use a Grizzly contact frame, and if you use a contact frame, you use a thermal right contact frame. If you have a thermal Grizzly, I can actually recommend you to just use a normal loading mechanism, Intel loading mechanism, and potentially maybe put washers under the screws so it lifts it a little bit and doesn't bend the CPU as much. If you use an LF3 cooler, please do not use the contact frame that comes with the LF3 cooler. Of course, man! Right as I said, I swear to God, I fucking knew it. I knew that he was gonna say that. Oh my God, please do not use that frame, man. I know that you can't mount the cooler without the frame, but I recommend you to buy this Freezer i13 series. It's called the Freezer 13iX LGA 1700 mounting upgrade kit. Yeah, this is the classic Arctic mounting mechanism for their LF3 coolers as well, right? It's basically the same thing. I recommend you to buy this and use the original loading mechanism of the Intel CPU, right? And use this mounting mechanism for your cooler. Because the Arctic one, God forbid, no. it's next level trash. I've done streams on it. I didn't do videos on it. I did a post about it on AMD, for example. But yeah, that's my opinion. Look into it. Thank you. Yes. So that's, in my opinion, that's the first thing before you do an upgrade. Once you get the loading mechanism or mounting mechanism for the cooler and get the CPU, mount everything with the stock loading mechanism from Intel. And like I said, put some like tiny washers under the loading mechanism so it doesn't press on the CPU as much. That mounting mechanism will also hold the CPU much flatter, and also like the backside of the board, it will support it from the backside. Unlike now, where there is no support on the backside of the board and your socket is literally looking like this right now, right? So you want to do that first, and then you look into what do you want to do with the RAM. So it depends what kind of RAM you have, what kind of cooling you have on the RAM, what kind of board you have, and then you can determine how much you can do with it. Either 64, 68, 7000, 7200. If you have a good board, maybe you can look into 76 and 78, stuff like that. And if you have water-cooled everything, which I would assume that you probably don't, but if you had like direct die water cooling RAM and everything, then you could look into 8000 and maybe a little bit more, but you're entering into unstable territory from day-to-day use. Anyway, we're not talking about Intel, we're talking about AM5 Force. Let's go. I want to go back and apply that high bandwidth option, and then so like I want to go back into Windows, make a screenshot, go back into BIOS, apply the high bandwidth option, and look what changed, because we need to understand like what does the high bandwidth option change. For example, the MSI board had completely obsolete settings in the high bandwidth thing, right? Freaking, they should just remove that option altogether because it's from 2022. So anyway, let's have a look. So we're taking a screenshot, yeah? Pain. Force. There it is. We have to do this because Gigabyte doesn't actually show you what changed in the BIOS. However, MSI board actually showed, like when you exit the BIOS, it actually shows you what changes, except for the AMD overclocking menu, sadly. But mainly the options, for example, this, right? The high bandwidth option, it would show you in the MSI board. However, here you can see that it literally does not tell you what it does, except for the enable option, right? So that's the thing. So we need to get back into it, and because on the 3070, I'm not sure if it's a big of a bottleneck. I would still prefer the i7 actually. But yeah, if you can get it for a decent deal, yes, I can recommend you, because it's a massive jump, by the way. It's i5 to i7 14 gen is magic juice already. Button. Yeah, I'm gonna do it the old-fashioned way. Anyway, where did I save it? Did I save it here? Yes. All right. That's a flashbang for you guys. All right, let's have a look. Actually, I usually do it like this. Ooh. Okay, so potentially this might be incompatible with some sticks. So it might actually be incompatible with some sticks. I'm not sure if it detects what kind of sticks it's using. But yeah, this might be incompatible with some, and that's really the only thing here. And then you obviously have TREFI, that's a standard one, and then the rest is exactly the same. Okay, so you basically have a TRFC and a TRFI option. And funnily enough, it actually sets correctly. So like 484, 839, even though like we know that TRFC2 and TRFC SB is not necessarily used, right? So you can set them to whatever. You can set them like 1 or 69 or something, like 420 if you want. But yeah, this is the correct way to actually set it. So props to them. They set it correctly. Actually, no, they just said TRFC. That's hilarious. But yeah. That's an interesting number, by the way. 468. Okay. Okay. No changes to Nitro, nothing. Nothing. Literally just TRFC and TREFI. That's it. Okay. Not bad. Not necessarily an incredibly bad option, especially because like all of the rest of the timings is actually loose, right? So the TREFI actually might not cause...
I set Trefi to prime numbers only /s.
Okay. TREFI might actually not cause any kind of like long-term data corruption or anything like that, because like all of the other settings are loose, right? But it's worth noting that 46,000 is actually quite a high number for TREFI, especially for daily conditions, especially if you have a large GPU and no airflow through the case, which most people have. But yeah. You just have enable and disable. All right. So let's start putting in the profile, basically, literally. So we have 60. Yes, power down mode, memory context restore. We just don't need to touch that. Okay. Let's just set some stuff manually. Actually, I'm gonna use this. Can you set less than 48? No. Okay. Ooh, it shows you. Ah, okay, Giga, I see you. I see you. This is the stock and this is the current, right? Interesting. Not bad. Okay. Actually, I'm just gonna max it out because it's on a bench. Oh, can you max it out like this? Oh wow, no, you can't actually. You just press minus. You can press minus on the keyboard and it goes straight to it. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. I'm gonna actually have to look where exactly I set the settings for the RAM. Actually, ooh, I have a lot of testing on the Corsair sticks. Okay. SPD setup. Okay. 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 Actually, I'm gonna do this. Now that I think about it. I don't think I need anything here, to be honest. Not yet. Except for, I kind of want to check one thing. Ooh, okay, Gigabyte, okay, okay. Not bad, not bad. Good move, good move. Cute. Okay. Oh, one more. Ooh, automatic enable. Not bad. Okay. Automatically enable SoC OC. We see you, Gigabyte. We see you.
Crying in MSI board lol.
Yes. Yes, use Corsair, not bias. Dude, they are actually good. One, two. Oh, actually, you're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I skipped over. I skipped over. You're right. You're right. I should use a 1-to-1. Yeah, you're right. All right, let's get back in. Bum 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 bum. Okay, bank. My head was in a completely different place because I was thinking like 6600.
TRCD.
What? No split TRCD? I mean, I could. I'm not trying to like... Oops. Yeah! There we go. Hopefully the camera still picks up the postcode. Or say the post LEDs. So let's see if this syncs. Okay. Yes. Yes, it does indeed. It does sync. The rest of the settings are completely the same. Okay. Let's have a little test how efficient this thing is. Let's see a Y cruncher action. So realistically, this score should be. It depends. Around 17,500. Maybe more, 18, because it's not overclocked CPU. But it's direct die CPU, so it might actually be 17,500. We can do 500 if I close hardware info. Not bad. Okay. Okay, all good. All good. We have efficiency. How about this? Linkin Park test. Let's go. Linkin Park. Where do I put you? There we go. Linkin Park. Boot is. Oh, you're right. I need to. Oh my god. I need to actually time the training. Oh, there's also. Oh, there's runtime reduction. I do not want to do runtime reduction on this because it's gonna take a millennium for this to post. So no, we're not doing runtime reduction. But we could do a little. Yeah, we could do a little test. How long this takes to post. $481, not bad. Not bad. Ooh, consistency. Not bad. How's the VRM temps? 57. Oh, this should be hot. I mean, considering the amount of power, this is hot. I should have really plugged in a freaking 9950 actually. It is, yeah, it is hot. This is not made for a 9950, that's for sure. Far from it. And they explained it well in the reviews, for example. So, yeah. Reviews went hard on this board. Okay. Especially on the VRM, they were like, dude, guys, Gigabyte 106 degrees on the VRM. But yeah, it was never meant for that. We have good power here, 161. Good stuff. Okay. Let's see stock efficiency with times by CPU. Physics, right? Actually, no, it's not physics. This is physics. It's not PT, right? It's just, yeah, CPU test. Just CPU test. It just CPU test compute, bruv. Ooh, I saw a lag. What's this? Is gonna be less than 17. Oh, not great. Not great, but it's a stock CPU. Kids are playing outside, bruv. Oh, 7, bruv. We're also gonna check with this frequency. We can check whether or not it does 508, I believe, Limpack. Oh my god, that's... Not bad. Okay, that's about expected. Not bad, not bad. Alright, let's see some real power through this CPU. And we're also gonna see load line, right? A little bit. Actually, no. Just Limpack. Yeah. Okay. Now the interesting part. How much does it actually score? It should be 500. We'll see. Oi, oi, oi. I doubt it though. The edge is extremely efficient, by the way. It's crazy efficient. Ooh! Ah, Giga! Yes! Yes! Dude, that's good! The VRM is happy though. Like it's pretty happy. It doesn't mind it. But yeah, if you stick a 9950 in this, you better limit it. It's not gonna be too happy. Dude, MapScorp, you were close. If I close the hardware info, it's actually a 506. Probably more. Probably more. D2, yeah, D2, yeah. Ooh! Wait. Giga, what the hell? Dude, it's crazy, bro. Not bad, not bad. We have efficiency, bro. We have efficiency. That's good. It's so sad. It's so sad it has no eCLK, bro. Oh, it would be so fun with eCLK. No. Efficiency as in clock speed or performance per clock speed. So like, for example, you match the exact same settings from board to board, and then one board will underperform and one board might actually be really good, right? ITX boards are usually dominant in that because it's small form factor, everything is really close and everything traces are shorter and everything. So like the performance per clock speed is higher, right? And this being an M80X board, entry level freaking 130 euro, it's pretty cool to see that it actually matches the ITX board in terms of clock per performance. would be so king. Yeah. Oh my goodness. With a water block on the VRM. Jesus. Okay. Who's the cut? Oh my god, dude. One can dream, yeah. Is it time? Is it time? Is it time? Did I save the profile actually? Is it time? It is time. It's fine. That's fine. It is time. But we're gonna have to learn this board a little bit. Actually, I will definitely do this first. Actually, dude, I will do this first. I need to faff a little bit. There's one thing I didn't actually try. I kind of want to see if it syncs PHY with Patriot sticks, but that's... It takes time. Takes time, bruv. Takes time. Should be it. Safe. No, I usually use 1.15. It's fine. It's fine. I'm preparing for the freaking 84. We're gonna see 84 on this. Oh sh! Here's a good way to test the save boot button. I forgot one thing because it's in a separate menu. I forgot one thing. You can guess what it is. Oh, it actually yeah. It actually posts. Let me see if it goes in. If it goes in, that's hilarious, bruv. Wait. New achievement unlocked? I forgot one thing. Actually, funnily enough, it changes one thing over here. It changes VDDG IOD to 9. Or I should say 0.95. But I forgot the VDDP. Yeah. I forgot VDDP. Holy. Does it sync? Oh! GDM! I swear to God. No wonder it posted. I'm so fucking dumb. That was 508 gigaflops with GDM. Anyway, the voltage is right here. And where the hell is GDM? I forgot. Oh. No. Oh. I knew that. Don't worry. I knew that. Anyway. Main DDR menu. Yes. Right there, salty. It's like, dude, streamer, it's right there. I'm still not timing the post times. That's I should write this stuff down, bruv. I should write this stuff down. But I just expect it to be exactly the same as the Tachyon. That's fine. So far, it actually is. Except for the VRM. Never mind. I know what it is. We know what it is. We know. Star Blue, dude. Oh my god. Wall power reader, yeah. So, the board can't actually handle low VDDIO and the VDDQ sync on 8000. That's my first thought, actually, that that caused the blue screen, and we're gonna see now. Most likely it is. But let's confirm. I'm gonna pull out my freaking notes. Get ready, because Madness is pulling out his notes. There it is. The notes are open. Yes, it was indeed VDDIO and VDDQ. Potentially. It could be either one. Also on sync, sadly. But that's all of the boards, basically. All of the boards on sync with this kit. If you had Patriots, it would sync at 35. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see if this is any reliable. And the way that we do these tests is... Put this here. 3D. Ah, there it is. So we want to put some load on the SoC. No, not advanced. And you put some load on the SoC by using a 5090, of course. Everyone has a 5090 to put some load on their SoC. You want to use a 5090 and limit the power so you don't burn the freaking connectors and explode your freaking wall power meter. Okay. And use Gen 5, of course, right? So we're using Gen 5 right here. Yeah, Gen 5. Let's run this. Okay. Sweet Jesus, these kids are so loud outside. I swear to God, I will start throwing things. I will throw that little ITX MSI board at them. Because it doesn't have any CBS settings.
I call that free heating madness.
Okay. Alright. We have load on the SoC. Let's put out a low TM5. Effective core clock speed 5.25. Not quite, but close. And now we wait. Now we wait a little bit. I got a force. Yes. Good as well. I forget. I literally forgot. 4-2, I forgot. There was a 5 something that was good. 5-7? 8. So 5-8-1, 5-7, I believe, or something like that. That was good. The IOD hotspot is 45 and the IOD is 37. Not bad. Easy. So it does need exactly the same settings, basically. Literally the same settings as the TAC. We didn't even touch groups yet. So we're going to do a little VT3 after this. And then 82, and then 84. I don't think this is going to be doing anything over 84. It's kind of like a hard limit. You just kind of struggle over it. So we're going to see about that. What? Free heating? Yeah, it's not free, that's for sure. Insta Bork. All right, what's happening on in the world? Let's see. Nothing. Nothing is going on.
Always bet on nothing.
Yes, that's the best bet.
Cat sitting very comfortably around a campfire with its friends. Kate sitting very comfortably around a campfire with its friends. Kate sitting very comfortably around a campfire with its friends.
Yes.
The most interesting day is when nothing happens. Thoughtful face emoji.
No. No. But what is happening on my screen, however, I like that. We like what's happening on the screen right now. Alright, let's try some VT3. VT4. You can't wait for VT4. Honestly, it's gonna fail. It's putting out weird noises. I think it's calling the aliens. So what's the score gonna be? Is it gonna be 9.94? Or is it gonna be 1.04? I would bet on 1+ score. No, never mind. It's stream stores. Oh no, it's stream stores. So it might actually be 9. It might be 9. No stream stores, bruv. 1.07. Dude, it's gonna be freaking 1.03. My bet. My bet. Come on. How long is 2 minutes, by the way? I told you, man. I told you, man. I told you. It's stream stores, man. Stream stores, different thing. This would be 1 point something with stream stores disabled. Okay. We can move on. Except for... Why cruncher? Let's see if we improved from 17700. This should be approaching 16 if I'm not mistaken. With stock clocks. Yeah. Okay. It did improve. Yes. 16500. Not yet, man. Not yet. No, it's stock clock speeds. That's why. So it's held back by the stock clocks.
Check DM's
XOC.
no reaction PLS.
No reaction, please. Oh, I know about this. Yeah, I'm aware. Like, what? That's old info. But yeah, thank you. Okay. Okay. There's one thing there that is new. The rest is not new. I have sources as well. But yeah. We can save this. Save. Bank. Okay. Let's change the timings a little bit, because, yeah. Did I use 34 on my... didn't type it out. Shh. I just... Oh no, I did type it out. 34, yeah. 34.59. Okay, 59. Sure. No, 56 actually. 34, 48, 48. Why not? It's the same thing, bruv. It's the same thing. Okay. Everything else is the same. This is the same. This is the same. This is the same. This is the same. It's literally the same. Okay. 82. Save. 82. Here we go. Okay. The only thing that might change is actually the VDD pay. Give me a second. This board is taking a second, that's for sure. Okay, so let me see. Actually, here I can see where the settings are changed. So on die termination, settings overclocking menu. Aha, that's where the on die termination is changed. And then RTTs are in tweaker. And then group A, of course, is in CBS. Okay, perfect. We're in. Let's see how reliable. Still unsynced. Does the board do it all on its own, for example? Let's see. Oh my god, that was laggy. Okay. My first suspect is VDDP and then groups as well. So if VDDP doesn't fix this, we're gonna touch groups. And then potentially maybe actually lower SOC. Come on then. Ooh, we can also do MISC, right? That's a classic on Gigabyte. MISC 1.2. All right. Well, let's see if it was VDDP. If not, like I said, we touch groups. See what happens after groups, and we move on. Okay, now we know. Well, let's have a look at groups then. That was even more unreliable than before. Thank God for... Is this... Ah, okay, thank God. I thought it was going to be context restore is going to retrain it. Okay. Well, first we touch groups. Of course, we can... Wait, no. It's in CBS. Of course. We need more VDDIO. No, not yet. Not yet. It's 1.17 where we need like 1.44. So I have the info right here. No worries. No worries, dude. No worry. No worry, man. No worry. Juicy. Ooh. All right, let's have a look then. Any change? I'm using full power GPU. Ah! Alright, groups fix everything. Pug. The sirens. How many? Is this an orchestra? Hello? 15 of them, bro. Hide. What do you mean? Is this like a freaking whole convoy, bro?
Hello, Commander Soyo.
Oh, he's in? I see. Watch out, baby. Watch out. Or does he have sirens as well? He usually gets sirens on his videos, yeah? Lol. Gets constant ambient? Yeah, exactly. It's German. I don't know how. I don't know how this happens. Let's see how fast this is actually. It's gonna finish in 3 minutes and 41 seconds. Dude, it's 11 at 3, by the way. With a 3D test in the back. No, no. It was so close to actually be 3 minutes and 41. Dude, it takes so long because of the 3D test, right? Because 3D test takes a couple of threads. So those couple of threads require a little bit more time to actually get through the test. It didn't hang. It didn't hang. No, it's because the 3D load is working in the back, taking the threads. See this? It's taking the threads. So like TM5, the tests open for TM5 require a little bit more time to finish. That's it. Good. I mean, I'll have this open. It's more interesting if I have this open. We have alien noises again. The coffee. I can't drink coffee right now. It's 7 p.m. Not a good time to drink coffee. We're gonna save it for the morning. Have a good rest of the stream. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye. In watermelon? You're bashing your head in watermelon? Is that a reference to something? Or I'm not sure. Oh, 4-9. Actually, ooh, reduction in score. But that potentially is because I opened the freaking hardware info and everything. Alright, well... Oh, and unsync, of course. Unsync. Alright, let's get back in. Straight to 84. Let's see how good 84 is on this. Oh my god, the mouse is laggy. Ooh, actually, I'll just save this. Save. No need to change anything. Literally all set up for 84. Except for the pro-condite termination and potentially RTTs. We're gonna see how well the board handles that. And maybe VDDIO. Then potentially taps. We can also do tap settings to make it a little bit more stable, but I don't expect this to immediately work at 84. It's probably just gonna error out in like around 40 seconds or so. But yeah, actually, like the plastic shroud over the VRM heatsink is a weird decision because it just sits there. It sits above the heatsink, not making contact with anything. It's just a piece of plastic. That's a weird one. I know that they're trying to make it look cool on the cheap, right? But it's just a weird, like it looks weird, bro. All right, let's have a look. Okay, it's synced. So that means that the training wasn't actually that great because usually it's still unsynced at 84. It might actually just air out immediately. But I do expect it to air out around the 35-second mark maybe. And then maybe 40 towards 1 minute. But we'll see. So far so good, actually better than I expected. I expected it to air out much faster. So 34 mark. Okay, 41-second mark, let's see. Okay, now should be 1 minute mark, roughly. Towards, right? Towards 1 minute. And then after 1 minute, it's around like 1 minute and 25. Oh, I'm full speed on the GPU again. Full blast. Alright, so past 1 minute mark. Oh, that's impressive. One minute 25? And then the next mark is like 3+ minutes, basically. Like 3:40 or so. Like right at the end and right at the beginning of second cycle. Oh wow, okay, not bad. Just straight up. What is the sticks temp? 45 degrees, okay. Okay, board. Okay. We're looking good. We're looking pretty good. With a 3D load in the back. Also, RTT's changed. 40, 48, 40. The DQS changed. Ah, there it is. Actually, before the 3 minute mark. RTTs. It should that should be correct though. RTTs are, yeah, they're about as good as it gets. Wow. I mean, that's still impressive. Just one error with a 3D load, just like that. It took a while to do this on the Tachyon. Well, arguably, I didn't have full experience for even the platform at the time when I was doing Tachyon. It was one of the first dual DIMM boards for 800 series that I got. So it took quite a bit more time to get it down. But that's good. That's not bad. Okay. Jesus. Lower SOC. I was actually thinking proc on that termination. Okay, so let's save 84. Yeah. That was an easy one. Not bad. Yeah, so it is actually it's exactly the same as attack. Same thing. Oh my god, there's a PC in the kitchen that's doing a Hydra right now. 9800 brand new build is doing Hydra right now. It should be finished, by the way, I think, unless it froze. If it froze, then it's not finished. But yeah, not bad, not bad. So we're finishing that one. Now it should be synced. And so, oh, it's still unsynced. Interesting. So it because Tachyon managed to do 3537 instead. Probably not exactly the same settings. Notice how this is the upside down loading logo for Windows. Okay, all good. All good. Yeah, let's just do this classic, you know? The classic. Come on, man. The classic. Let's see how long it lasts. If it's any longer than before. So before it was 2 minutes and 40 something seconds. Right before 2 minutes and 50. We're gonna see if it's any different now. Godbin. MDI testing, probably a laughing no. I can't tell you, right? I don't know. I think I tested the MDI on it. I forgot how it did. But it was exactly the same, if not potentially slightly worse than ADI. It's just ADI is okay on AMD. Right, it's okay. Also, yeah, I think I was using G-Skill sticks, not Corsair sticks, when I was doing 84. However, the error might actually not be proc on determination or anything. It could actually just be CLDO VDTP, potentially SOC. Are you winning? Yes, we're winning today, yeah. I'm not frustrated because of the board or anything like that, unlike the other one. But yeah, we're winning. We're doing pretty good. But yeah, it could also be just VDP, SOC volts. The rest is fine for the sticks. It's about as good as it gets. And after this, we can actually push some scores. And then after that, well, good. Because I see I completely dropped in viewers. Completely. It went on a cliff, basically. Completely dropped. Oh, okay. Proc on determination, a little bit better. Seems like. It could have been also because of the training, because the sticks were a little bit warmer, right? So it trains a little bit looser, potentially, right? We don't have control over all of the advanced options. But Yeah, it looks like we're gonna do a cycle. That's correct. Okay, we did see a change though. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, next up would be VDDP. Of course, it's VDDP. Spoke too soon. Yes, yes, I did. In fact, I did. Dude, I kind of want to push 86 for just for fun. Just post and get into Windows and be done with it, you know? So, save. I just want to do it, man. I just want to do it for fun, you know? For fun. This is where the fun ends, by the way. This is where actually the fun ends. I forgot. Okay. Oh! I was using 16. I know the sticks do it, so don't worry, the sticks do it, but that's hilarious. Anyway, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's fine. That should also be fine if I'm not mistaken. But I guess it's it. Yes. Let's see if it even posts. No need, I didn't push FCLK. If it doesn't, this is a good time to actually try the safe boot. It's synced as well. Now that is impressive. Considering first try, straight up into boot in Windows. That is
Cat
impressive.
sitting very comfortably.
Oh yeah, RTT's changed, you're right.
With its friends.
RTTs did change. How long does this run? Doesn't run. It seems it's completely frozen. Okay. 07. But a boot is already an incredible thing. An incredible thing. Alright, let's try a couple of things. Just for the sake of it. I'm impressed. I'm impressed, bro. Actually, it's this. Should be this. No reason to do this, but I'm doing it. The rest is fine. It's just like the Tachyon. It's just as fun. Just as fun to tune. I can't even imagine what it does with an APU. I could try, because it's literally behind me, but I'm not doing it in this one. But I can imagine that it would be doing like 10,000 just like that. It's incredible. For such a price as well, 130. You get all the settings you can mess around with. I guess it's a little bit of a shame that you don't have the unlocked VDD with the XOC BIOS apparently. So that's a bit of a shame on this one. And that would be more fun, obviously. You can push tighter timings, right? You can mess around with it a bit more if you're buying this to mess around with on the cheap, you know, because the Tachyon is not a cheap board, you know, this is. So, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Still synced. Let's see if it's any better. Potentially. Well, it is better. It started the test. That's expected, by the way. 8600 is a difficult thing to do. So, boot to boot. No. I changed them manually now. I changed them. 119, that's a crazy deal, bro. Crazy deal, bro. There's only one more thing that I would actually try. It's probably not really gonna change much. But I'm curious if GDM actually helps this one. Non-Wi-Fi minus 10. Actually, you're right. Yeah, non-Wi-Fi is cheaper. Yeah. I'm not sure why he bought the Wi-Fi. I guess for selling it, right? I personally don't care about keeping this. I have the Tachyon. Why would I keep this? So it's potentially like an alternative or an option for a daily PC, you know. That's not. Oh no. Ah, that's unstable. Very unstable. Yeah. Oof. Okay. Never mind. What GDM made it worse? Okay. Okay. That's 8600. As expected. I can't really run it. I would probably need a little bit more knowledge on like how to actually make it work. If it even is possible running it just straight up out of the blue. Or you need some friggin', I don't know, cold ambient or something like that. Alright, trying out the save boot. Let's see how well the save boot works. That's the first time. First time using the RST switch for save boot. Let's see if it works. Okay, Gigabyte, okay. Save boot, straight up. Not bad. Just like the Tachyon. Wait, did it try to repost? I think it did. Hold on. Why did it try to repost? I thought I wanted to go into BIOS. Hello? Please get me into BIOS. All right. Once more. Get me into BIOS. Come on. Come on. There you go. Okay, so it just didn't enter the BIOS the first time. So save boot works fine. Did it manage to boot 9000? Yeah, okay. So messing around with it a bit more with temperature could help you with frequency. Of course, of course. So we're loading this and potentially doing this. That's fine. I'm gonna raise this a little bit. I'm gonna raise this a little bit. No need. No need. I know the sticks do it. No, I'm just trying to, like, now I want to push a score or two, you know? I will leave C states. Actually, they sometimes help the score. Don't think I need anything here. No. Okay. One tap, not yet. It actually potentially hurts scores, so that should be it. I believe. Jesus Christ, people are only blasting. Predictive? Why would I do predictive? It worsens the score. No, we're not doing predictive. All right. Perfect. Let me see if it's potentially unsynced. No, still synced. Interesting. Cool. Yeah. Ooh, we're gonna see if if I'm missing the SoC. I will still do like a little TM5 just so I see if I'm potentially missing SoC, because I don't know if the CPU can do 1-1. And that's why you do a 3D load next to it. So no, 1-1 is not a thing on this CPU. fact, it might actually just be a little bit more. I forgot. Yes. That's exactly why you test 3D load right next to the TM5. Otherwise, like, you're not testing anything. It's really nothing, because you have one M.2, you have one GPU, and you just have RAM on top of it, right? So if you do like 4 terabyte M.2s, multiple of them, like friggin' CPU and then another CPU and then PCH over PCH, and then you have the back IO ports, which are on the X870 would be Thunderbolt, some of them, Type Cs, 3.0, 5G internet, and so on. When you load up the SoC, then the stability kicks in, right? So let's confirm this. Still synced. It's interesting that it syncs. Because on Tachyon it does not. So that's the one difference between this and the Tachyon. Let's confirm this. Never mind. What am I erring on? What am I erring on? VDDG? Yeah. Potentially. But this is, oh my god, this is gonna be a weird one. Never mind, it was not SoC necessarily. My bad. My bad. Well, it's time to search then. Not great. I usually just default to 1.15. And then after that I try taps, and if taps don't work, then yikes. It's a sad day for 8400. With FCOK, of course, right? That's where I guess the Tachyon outshines this board, potentially. We'll see. Just need to get the settings right. All right, one more time. Oops. Still on sync, so that's consistent. Okay, so slight change. I don't think actually, like, this could still error out, obviously. And it will. Eventually, it will error out. But it was WTRL potentially 16, right? 16 is a bit much. And when you actually sync FCLK with eCLK, then, okay. So we still have a little bit struggling with it a little bit. The rest should be pretty much min-maxed as much as possible, you know. But I want to do a low bench. I'm guessing stability. You're pushing latency with taps. So, yeah, I'll try. How's RAM batch testing? I wasn't really testing RAM batches necessarily. Very rarely. Excuse me? Huh? Wait. Do taps not work on this board? What? Oh no. Huh? Hold on. That's fine. The mouse is so laggy in this BIOS. She didn't like it. Yes, she did not. Miss, yeah. Yeah, I will. I just want to see if this works first, and then. Should really save this actually. Hi, Flash. 2100. Just wanting to see if this works. Step by step, you know? Step by step. Hopefully tomorrow. Ooh, okay. We're logging in. Nice. I didn't change VDDGs. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's actually a good thing. Okay, one more thing. Good. Still unsynced. VDDGs don't change if you change FCOK. Okay, good to know. Cute. Let's see how long it lasts. It didn't last too long last time. It was error 12. I still don't believe that this will go any like far. It's just gonna run a little bit and then it's just gonna error out. But good enough for a test. You know, I just want to do a little test on it. That's it. We've spent quite a bit of time to actually like go from 8000 to 86, find out, oh, it actually boots, and then 84 again with the FCOK and all the advanced settings to get the scores going. Now we're finally here, 3 hours in, bro. 3 hours in, we're already in. Okay, so there it is, explosion. That's normal. For this kind of configuration, I would have to like min-max more things to understand that where exactly the errors are coming from. But for now, for just a test, you know, just a a run, Y crunch or run. It's all good. Okay. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Actually, no, we can do... Do you believe? Fuck! No, so I have to stick with the usual, so... Oh, it might not work. Wait, it might actually not work. Hold up. Yeah, okay. Sad. Hold on. Huh. It doesn't find it, of course. Where is it exactly? Oh, it doesn't gain much. Ooh, interesting. I actually thought it would gain a little bit. What about VT3, however? Now with the AVX512 and everything. Yeah, this is gonna take 2 minutes, bro. It's 8, and I have no more magic juice. Imagine that. BRB, while the VT3 runs. score? Excuse me. Yes, that's good. That's good. Not bad, not bad. Alright, we back. Well, let's see it. So there it is. There's your screenshot. If you want it. I don't want it. You can take it. If you like. You can see basically everything. Almost. But yeah. Let me touch the VRM. Oh, the VRM is not even hot. It's AVX512, that's why. Because it's not pulling any power, bruv. It's not pulling any power. Not bad. Okay, Linkin Park. What do you say? But for that, we can actually use this. Linkin Park test. Well, no, it's fine. It's a bit much.
1.215.
I know, it's a bit much. It's fine. It's just a test CPU. Also, disclaimer, this is a test CPU. I do not recommend doing this on your CPU. Do not do this. Do not do this. It's bad. You're gonna kill your hardware. I can replace this. No worries. But if you can't replace your CPU, then do not do this. The VRM is getting hot. Seven. Let me see if slightly higher works. I need to like trim down the glue on the CPU to make the temps even better. I'm not too happy with the temps. But yeah, VRM does get hot. I mean, realistically, for what it is, pulling this much power, it's not that bad. Let me touch the back side. It's not nearly as hot as the MSI. Nowhere close, by the way. Nowhere close as the MSI. I can touch the backside of the socket, no problem. I can hold my fingers on it. i5, let's see. Tiny is ITX. Yeah, but that also means that it's like the VRM is extremely close to the socket as well, which means that there's less loss inside of the PCB. But at the same time, yeah, you can argue, okay, surface area, surface area. There's no way for heat to like sink into anything, right? But yeah, as Mapscorp said, it's 12 layers, so I don't know what MSI is doing with the VRM, dude. Like, they're all super hot. Also, this works at 5.5 gigahertz. Eh? 511, yeah, I know. A little bit more. It's gonna go, like, it's gonna go. It's gonna go. It's still going. What is the CPU? Oh. What is the CPU? Wait, voltage unlocked? Not bad. Not bad. No, reset. Come on. No, it froze. No. Close one. But 512 though, 512. Not bad. There's your scores. What's next? Can we do? We can do a little time spy CPU. We can do like a little 18,000. Let's do a little 18,000 on time spy, and that would be it basically. I don't think we can really exploit this any harder. Let's do a little 18,000, shall we? GDMon, we tried. Mapscorp, I tried. It was worse. It blue screened on boot. Oh, it's fast. Ah, there it is. There she is. Okay. Can I do 6 though? Apparently so. Lower score, let's go. Anyway, 3D Mark 11, we should be looking at like 47,000. I'm not happy with that one. Am I pushing the CPU too hard? That one was not great. Let me try full screen. No, it's just not great. Wow, okay. Never mind. Why not? Huh. Interesting. Nonetheless, interesting. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Good board, man. Good board. Fun board. Just about the same as Tachyon in terms of memory overclocking. Has all the right stuff. Really, the only negative about the board is the plastic clips on the VRM heatsinks, but like I said, I can't really blame them. It's so cheap, right? It's so cheap. 130 euros or something like that. It's even less sometimes. Like, I'm trying to think of like negatives about this board, but there's just like there is none. It doesn't have RGB, man. It doesn't have RGB. Like, oh yeah, but eCLK, you can argue that it's so cheap, right? And then you can argue if you want the eCLK, you get the Tachyon, right? So like they have segmentation by doing that, right? It would be nice. Yes, of course. It would be nice to have eCLK. But arguably, it's so cheap, and just get a Tachyon if you want eCLK. Other than that, it's just amazing. It's super cool. I like it a lot. Can definitely recommend to anyone, basically, if you want to build a cheap PC, if you want to overclock a little bit, if you want to mess around a little bit. The only thing that is a limiting factor on this board is the BIOS, where if you really want to do like LN2, you're just not doing LN2 because you're limited by the voltages. So You're just not doing that. Everything else outside of that, it's amazing. Yeah. If it was like, if they made like a V2 or something like that, V2 exists, but if they made like an actual like V2, maybe name it something else or something like that, or maybe like a similar name with an add-on, like I don't know, Force Ultra or something, or Ultra Force or something, I don't know, and put an eCLK on it. That would be great. That would actually be great. Limit. Yeah, but 1.85 is again not enough for LN2. If you want to do LN2, you're looking at 2 volts plus sometimes. Force AX would mean just Wi-Fi. AX, they have AX just for Wi-Fi. So I don't really think there's much more to really do. It's incredibly fun. Let's slap a Geekbench just to end on. Let's end on a Geekbench. In before it will not pass because I have a CPU overclock. But it should be around, I think single memory should be like 20,000. And then multi should be, what, 16? Oh, it actually passed. It actually passed. What? Hold up. Oh. Oh, it's actually passing. Wait. It exactly 20 and 16. Oh my god, dude, I benched too much. I benched. No. Okay, that's a fun one. That's cool. Just first run. No, not bad. Okay. I think that's about it. Oh my god, what a board. Yeah. For such a price, there's nothing beating it. Full stop. There's nothing beating this in terms of how much fun you can have at the price point. Amazing. Good job, Gigabyte. But yeah, that does it for me. Guys, it was fun. It was a fun 3 hours. Great experience with the board. Amazing stuff. But yeah. I don't think I will be actually on until next year. So, guys, have a great Christmas. Have a great New Year. And I potentially I will see you next year. I don't think I will pop on before New Year's. So, or after New Year's, I should say. Until after New Year's. English, man. But yeah. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for keeping me company. And I hope you have the best time. Ciao, ciao.